During the 1990s, the Taliban imposed brutal restrictions on women. Mandatory face coverings, restricted access to healthcare, no access whatsoever to education, and jobs were just some of their rules. Now, when the Taliban returned to power in Afghanistan this year, they struck a reconciliatory tone and made big promises on women's rights and freedoms. However, in reality, things have been quite different on ground. Women in Afghanistan have once again lost their freedom to work and their right to education. The days of repression for the women of Afghanistan are back. And defending the Taliban's decisions on a global platform was none other than its top ally and a staunch supporter, the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan. 57 members of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation met in Islamabad to find solutions to the crises in the country. And at this meeting, the world had its eyes on Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, who defended the Taliban by saying that, and I quote, "Every society's human and women's rights are different." Listen in.
When we talk about human rights, every society is different. Every society's idea of human rights and women's rights are different. I just give you an example of the Pakhtunkhwa province, which borders Afghanistan, because the culture is similar, because Taliban is basically predominantly a Pashtun movement, and there are more Pashtuns on our side of the border. Now, the city culture is completely different with the rural culture. I'll give you an example. We give stipends to the child's parents to put the girls into school. But in our tribal districts or the district adjoining Afghanistan, if we are not sensitive to the cultural norms of those people, even with stipends, they won't send their girls to school. But if we are sensitive to their cultural norms, without stipends, they're willing to send their girls to school. So this sensitivity, I'm afraid, when we are talking about human rights and women's rights, we have to be sensitive about this.
For more on this story, WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik now joins us live from Islamabad. Anas, thanks for joining us. Now, the Pakistan Prime Minister is receiving flack for some bizarre comments. He has defended the Taliban by saying that every society's human and women's rights are different. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, yes, yesterday at the OIC Foreign Ministers meeting on Afghanistan in Islamabad, the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has maintained that cultural differences and diversities needs to be respected, in an apparent mention to what he believed that it was with regards to girls' education. But Imran Khan failed to take note of the fact that it's in the same region that younger girls are sent to madrasas as well to seek education. So while there might be cultural sensitivities that needs to be respected, it cannot just be equated with the fact that people from the area are not willing to send girls, their women or their girls for education purposes. As I said, they continue to send their younger ones to madrasas as well. Now, he's received a lot of flack internationally. Locally, his statement has not been picked up that much. He's also said something else along the lines that the Afghan soil is being used by ISIS to attack Pakistan. That's a first. It's a revelation on the part of the Pakistani Prime Minister, a first from the Pakistani government itself. We're yet to see the Afghan side, for the interim government rather, commenting on that. There were some reports in the Afghan media saying that the Afghan Foreign Minister has said, the acting Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi of the Taliban has said that it's Imran Khan's opinion, and which is not true. Priyanka? Right.
Anas, you just mentioned the Pakistan Prime Minister voicing a security threat. Also tell us more details about the remark coming in from a top US official who says that opening an embassy in Afghanistan is not considered safe at the moment.
Well, yes, a senior U.S. official has said that they currently do not have any plans of opening up their embassy in the United States, United States of America in Kabul, in Afghanistan, for the fact that the Taliban are yet to live up to their commitments. It's a bit far-fetched for now because there are security concerns that need to be addressed. There are commitments that need to be met by the Taliban on their part, especially with regards to the elimination of ISK or its linked elements, bringing preparators to justice, and then ensuring that there is not a relapse of such elements. That is number one. And the other thing is, with regards to women's rights, that unless there is free movement for women activists or for women by and large, until these tick boxes are ticked or boxes are ticked, only then the US intends on opening it. So a clear-cut message from a very senior US official, who's clearly laid out the plans going forward, that they will continue to engage with the Taliban, but recognition or opening the embassy is currently not on the cards. Priyanka.
Absolutely. Anas, very quickly, my final question for you. Tell us a little more about this OIC meeting on Afghanistan. What were the objectives?
Well, it was just one point agenda, that was to come together and devise a mechanism or a strategy with regards to the humanitarian crisis that is ongoing. Optically, it has achieved a lot. 56 countries coming together, more than 80 delegations. So it has been applauded. It was a window of opportunity for the Afghan government, or the interim Afghan government that is being led by the Taliban. It was a window of opportunity for the international community to engage with the Taliban as well. And we saw multiple meetings yesterday. In fact, in a first, perhaps the Iranian foreign minister met the Taliban delegation, and all what happened in Islamabad itself, 6 key pointers were agreed upon, and the highlight of that being the first two, that is, one, the appointment of a special envoy for Afghanistan by the OIC, and the second being the establishment of a trust fund. Now, what would be the modalities of that trust fund? How would that operate? That remains to be seen, but and also with the fact that winter is already in Afghanistan, people are already facing a crisis, so there is a lot of hopes and expectations attached to it. There is a lot of talk as well, but that talk to transpire into action, that remains to be seen. Priyanka.
Anas Malik, our Pakistan Bureau Chief, thank you so much for all your inputs, and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.